Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. And as always, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bells. Every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So today, Carmelo Anthony, the young brother accused of, taking the life of Eric Metcalf. I mean, Austin Metcalf, I'm sorry, in a stabbing couple of weeks back at a Frisco track meet. His mother and father had a press conference today with the was it Next Generation Action Network, and I watched it live, but it was delayed. And I want you guys to we want to play some of the press conference, but I also want y'all to see why this press conference was delayed for nearly an hour. Now, when I was watching, I'm sitting here thinking, "Oh man, here we go, my people on CP time. Like, what the heck is going on?" But then this information came out, and I was watching it on Channel 8 because they were the ones, young lady on here, who was actually talking throughout, the broadcast, keeping us up to date with everything. And she saw that this happened. So let's play this and then let's get into it. Again, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's hit it in just a second.
Now, we do want to update you on some new information we just received into the newsroom. Obviously, this press conference was supposed to start at 11. It's a little delayed. We have heard that the reason for this delay is that the father of Austin Metcalf, the child who was killed in this case, has arrived to the press conference. We've confirmed that he has arrived to the Next Gen offices in Dallas, and that is the reason for this delay. We have actually heard from Metcalf's father in this case, and in between, mourning the loss of his son, he's been very vocal about, the way that this case has been talked about. So he has arrived to this press conference. We haven't heard about any conversations that have happened at this point. Not sure what the energy of his presence is there, but we do know that the reason that this press conference is starting late is because he has arrived.
I'm gonna tell you what the energy is. You can't really see him here, and they'll show him like better pictures here shortly. This is him behind his camera. Now, when this guy walked in, the first thing I said is, "Man, who this dude with this RoboCop arm brace on? Like he done broke his arm, and he just standing there." Didn't really pay him attention. I didn't, but she comes out and said that this is Austin Metcalf's father. Now, what's the purpose of this man being here at a press conference that he know he shouldn't be at? Now, I'm gonna call this intimidation. I don't want to bring race into it, so I won't. But this is pure intimidation by Austin Metcalf's father, trying to intimidate the family. Now, there's a court order that says that Carmelo Anthony cannot be in contact or be near the Metcalf family. But yet, it's okay for this guy to go to the press conference and stand there. Now, they asked him to leave, and he said he wasn't going to leave, and he just stood there like, I could do what I want to. Doesn't matter what. This is in Dallas. This is not even in Frisco. But we're talking about a man, again, who is no longer with Austin Metcalf's mother. They're divorced or what have you. Uh, a guy who was, let's just bring up his past, who was arrested for an assault, the kind of assault that you cannot say on YouTube, in 2011. And his sons have been accused, there have been stories that his sons are bullies. Now, again, when you are a product, from what I hear, when you are a product of divorce, it's kind of, you know, it wanes on you. It affects a child. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, like my oldest child, me and her, great relationship. My youngest child too. But I can tell that my youngest child, the way she acts, the way she reacts to things, the way she deals with things is different than from my oldest child. I know that, but my oldest child, I was there for the majority of her life. My youngest child, me and her mother got divorced a little, while she was young. I was there every day in the life. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget that. All the time, stayed down the street until her mother decided to move a little further away. So it kind of, You know what I'm saying? It might have. I'm sure that had to have played a part in me and my youngest daughter relationship. But we still, still close. We still cool. We talk, stuff like that. So I mean, whatever. I'm just saying. But anyway, children being product of divorce may have, done, especially if they're not, if it's a boy not with their father, I'm sure it affects them, which is probably why the youngins, accusations are that they were bullies. And then you see this, and then you see where they get it from. Actions speak louder than words. You will hear that quote here shortly. This is where they get it from. You got a guy who's standing at a press conference. What is he going to do? Make sure his Negroes stay in line? Make sure they don't say anything out of line, you know what I'm saying? And do his, you know what I'm saying? And exert his authority because of who he. I don't get it. This is something I've never seen before. And then he said, but you can tell you like this. The people that own this building, they handled it right. Because matter of fact, like I said, I just want y'all to see him there. We're gonna like kind of go through it a little bit. Cause like I said, I don't want to harp on that part. 444. He's still standing there, She's still talking. See, there he is, like right there. There he is, standing right there. Like, ain't got a care in the world. How do I know he ain't got like a weapon or something under his in that arm brace? But like I said, the people who is in this building, they show a lot of professionalism. Because what they did is they just called the police and said, we'll wait till the police get here, and escort him out. And the police escorted him out. I was at work in my yesterday, and every now and then we have people who come in our building, got mental issues, drug issues. They'll just come in our building, use the phone, go to the restroom, and we try to escort them out. Had a guy come in, ran into the building. I mean, when I saw him running across the front of the building, I'm thinking he missing the bus the way he looking. But then I had a patient come in and say, hey, there's a guy out there in the bathroom. He's barefooted, no shoes on. No, I didn't pay attention to that part. I saw he had on clothes. He had on like a jacket, like a nice looking jacket, some pants or whatever, dreads or braids or whatever, dreads, look kept from what I saw. But he had his eyes bucked like he was actually either tired or running from somebody. They say he went to the bathroom. They say he came in, hid under the table, said they after me, then jumped up, ran to the bathroom and closed the door. So I go in there and look, going to the lobby. Everybody's telling me, repeating what happened. Instead of knocking on the door, telling him to come out, I'm no security guard. I ain't no police. I ain't got no weapon. I just said, don't worry about it, y'all. Let me just call him a ride. And I called 911 to call the police. Done it before. No need for confrontation. Let's just let the law handle it and wipe my hands of it. But anyway, like I say, this dude here, this is just pure intimidation. And like I said, I'm trying not to bring racism into this, but this is just pure intimidation. So now I'm gonna fast forward. Let me see. Let's see what this guy said.
Last 2 weeks, we've been getting press statements from them. This was the opportunity to hear from them for the first time. We're now hearing from Dominique Alexander with Next Generation that this press conference has been delayed. I'm going to have Billy Bryan, who's one of our photographers, go out, show you a lot of the people here still waiting for this press conference to happen. And the reason for this delay is because Austin Metcalf's father is here, Jeff Metcalf.
Look at him. And I'm sure he's getting messages saying, man, look, the press conference ain't going to stop till you leave. So I guess he's just going to sit there until they think everybody else is going to leave. That man can't be that stupid. But then again, he might be. So like I said, we're going to fast forward because I want to see. Because what I want to see is, let's see if they show. Okay, now here's a problem. Here's the thing that I saw that kind of really rubbed me the wrong way when it comes to the police and them folk. Well, not to rub me the wrong way. It just show you how people stay on code, and it's just an example of why we should stay on code. So check it out.
If you take a look at your screen now, what you are looking at is video of Jeff Metcalf being escorted out of the co-working space where the Next Gen Action Network's office is by Dallas Police. You see that there. Jeff Metcalf, the gentleman who was wearing the sunglasses and the blue shirt, who's being escorted out, is the father of Austin Metcalf, who was the teenager who was stabbed and killed tragically. to the school. He is being asked to leave, escorted out of the press.
You ever seen that before? You ever seen the police their hands out and shake anybody? Now I can understand the certain. Now I get it. You're gonna say the circumstances. You know, he lost his son. I get it. Police, they probably don't even want to be there because of this situation. On code. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna say them words on code. They probably want to be there at the press conference, but they have to obey the law and do their job. It's like nurses. There are nurses that have been fired or have, filed lawsuits against hospitals because they refuse to do certain procedures that they deem is against their religion. But yet, this is why you have to choose what's more important. You can't go work for a company, especially when you're a first responder, and decide whose life you will or won't take. There's a story where a lady was in Houston who got arrested. I don't know what her charges is, or she went to court yet. But they say she hung up. She was arrested because she hung up on like 800 people. I want to say I hope it's a fake story, but I've seen it so many times. I gotta take it for being real. She hung up over hundreds of people who called 911 because she didn't feel like talking to them. Why you choose this job? Like I said, when you are first responding, you are held to a higher authority. So you can't sit there and say what you will and won't do when you work in a hospital. Because a hospital or dialysis or police department or fire department, you are there supposedly to save lives, to protect and serve and save lives. And policemen, you're supposed to, enact the law. So, like I said, they had to be there. Like I said, on code probably didn't want to be there, but he had to do his job. But I've never seen this. Check it out.
That is being held where the
Boom,
parents.
look at that. Like I said, but again, I understand it's the circumstances and they're probably giving their condolences. And you know what I'm saying? And I get it. But I'm just saying it just haven't seen it. Haven't ever seen nothing like that.
Of the child who was accused of killing Metcalf's child are expected to speak. You can see there he's shaking hands with officers. He was asked to leave. That press conference is starting now. Here's Anthony's family.
All right, look at Alexander got a suit on this time. That's cool. Sure, that's what I'm talking about. And that's the mother and the father. You look young, you know what I'm saying? Young looking dudes, young looking family. You understand?
That door. Okay, I'm gonna spread this across y'all before I get started. Just make sure you let me know if any one of your cameras are. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. We all good? We all good? Okay. All righty. I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Amen.
Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf because we respect the dignity of life and loss.
But they don't.
And as a minister,
Minister.
I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this
Is that a
case.
Talentuan watch he got? I got the exact same watch. Had it on earlier today. Man, I should go get it right now. But no. Shout out to Talentuan, even if that isn't one of their watches. I got a few of those. Y'all should go check them out.
It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course, we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action.
I'm sorry, I'm going to be real petty. This guy, for some reason, y'all notice he can't, like, doesn't finish sentences sometimes. But like I said in his last speech, he needs to have somebody that, a PR guy that reviews what he's going to say, write it down. Kind of like they said, that Joe Biden needed when he was running for president, and even Kamala Harris, they got to write their speeches and make sure their speeches are pristine, crisp, and clear, and direct, and very clear, so that way they get up there and they won't sound like they're just stumbling over words because you are representing the nation. This guy is representing his family and probably also trying to represent the FBA community.
Network. Today, I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a Black man, as a father, as a protector, community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Karmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go, let's be clear. The family has not received one dime. Any of the media could have verified this, but we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false, lavish life of this family.
I mean, even after this press conference came out and I'm scrolling through the internet and social media, people are still putting out or posting and not taking down that this family living in a gated community. This is the money. This is what they use the money for this house and all that kind of stuff. All trying to spread a narrative. But I'm going to let him keep talking because he'll give a good reason why.
$800,000 home, purchase Escalade and private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Carmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their
Exactly.
prerogative.
Especially if y'all out there threatening them. What you want them to do? You want to threaten them to be scared of their lives, but don't try to do anything to protect themselves? It's like a setup. It's like people are that stupid. I'm sorry. People are that stupid.
The family has not withdrawn, and just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about,
Oh no, that's not a tail Antoine. I'm sorry. That's a smartwatch. Look like smartwatch I got too. But anyway,
it wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund.
exactly.
That's what this was
Hmm.
about. Because just like
I agree.
TMZ was able to call, give, send, go, everybody in the media in these news outlets that I've never heard before could have did the same thing.
Exactly.
When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to
And that's
that.
how I found out about it, watching TMZ. I mean, yo, looking online as TMZ posted that they haven't even withdrawn a dime of that money. But hey,
Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe
mm,
platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraudulent. Fraud.
uh-oh,
Yeah, help me. Yeah, got it.
got a little too excited there, buddy.
It's all- mhm. So all of the funds that was raised on that platform were fraud. Okay? The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to 11,000. So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Carmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the family and their supporters. This family never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense. Okay? Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety. People have sat outside their house, sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Carmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice in a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breathes.
Yes, it do.
But let me say this loud and clear. Clear. We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served. Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother and once I make this statement, okay? All right. There's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Karmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times. We didn't just rush. We have had these conversations over the last several days. And we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Carmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities. But Carmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate. Okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Carmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school
Well,
graduation.
it is a pretty dire situation, and I mean, I don't know which way I'm on the fence. I don't know which way I look at that, but I mean, I can understand if it was something that happened like on school property or whatever, but I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how the laws or the rules work in a situation like that, so I'm not really going to comment on that. But I kind of want to fast forward to the mother talking a little bit, and then we'll end it there.
A lot of strength, y'all, to come and do this today. And I want you guys to um, respect her as she read this and giving her the respect that she deserves, y'all.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're the best financial, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my three younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats.
What I see is a hurt family. I haven't been in a situation like this, don't know what they're going through, but I would say on the outside looking in, this the brother probably needs to show a little more strength in front of, I mean, just showing strength. Now, I can let's say it like this, because I kind of question having the mother up there speaking and not the father speaking, but you got to tug at the heartstrings. And if the mama's up there showing concern, fear, crying, because you know she's gonna cry, you know she's gonna get emotional, you know it's gonna be real. So I believe that plays a part in having her get up here and read this and being emotional because you're trying to get the sympathy of the people, and they got it from me. I understand. I mean, she ain't had to get up there. It's like, man, I get it. I'm on it. I'm on the squad, you know. But with that being said, like I said, I just felt like, but it shows. It also shows that the mother father has feelings. I mean, they said they moved to Dallas. I guess they're from New Orleans or some part of Louisiana. She sounds like she's from New Orleans for real. That they are, they are a square family, which is cool. I mean, that's good. I always tell my daughter, man, you better find you a square like a son gun. Forget all these dudes in the street and thugs, stuff like that. Get you a square who trying to work hard, make sure his family taken care of. Because the other dudes ain't gonna do nothing but get you in trouble. So that also is gonna play as a benefit in Carmelo Anthony's defense because they're gonna see he got a great family, for three siblings, mother and father together. Mother stay home. Father's out there working hard. Carmelo Anthony got a couple of jobs. 3.7 GPA in Frisco. Not none of these little rundown school districts, but in Frisco. So it's gonna look good to the public. You know what I'm saying? Public. What they say? Court of public opinion. Since the court of public opinion got so much to say about this, let's just put it all out there.
My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly.
Sure did.
In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds.
Man, I don't want to see the white cry.
And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some
That's
of
right.
us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Got a question real quick, and I'm gonna put the link of this in the description box because it's like it's a full press conference from beginning to end, and there's no interruptions. But here's what I want. Here's a question I have. Oh, So Carmelo Anthony, did what he did to this young fellow. And so everybody wants to go after the family and just go after the family, threaten the family, say the family ain't no, pretty much want the whole family to be wiped off the face of the earth. If you thought that, then you should think that way with if everyone thought like that, then the majority of people in this world would be gone because especially because you got people who have committed crimes and their family's still alive, but the people that committed crimes are either punished or going to jail or what have you. But that's not my question. My question is this: flip it to the other side. If Metcalf and his brother, Austin Metcalf, I don't know what his brother's name is, Chase, Champ, Hunter, whatever, if they were bullies, if that is true, and you can say, because I'm sitting here thinking like people saying, well, they bullies, but they didn't like take nobody's life. But think about it. How many times have we seen stories where kids take their own lives because of being bullied by people? And those bullies have either, been called out, maybe even went to trial, been convicted. Matter of fact, I mean, wouldn't that be the same thing? Bullies can destroy people's lives one way or another. You may not actually take their lives by your own hands, but you can put things in motions to destroy a person's mental psyche so bad that they were probably going to go out there and hurt other people or even hurt themselves. So my thing is, what's the difference? Just because you didn't pull the trigger or just because you didn't, poke somebody doesn't mean that what these two guys allegedly were doing wasn't as detrimental. That's all I'm saying. But like I said, I'm gonna put the link of this press conference in the description box so y'all can check it out in its entirety. There's a lot more that has been that Brother Alexander is going to say that basically saying that there's not much that they can say about the case because all the kids are minors, so you can't say their names, you can't say who know what. It's just that you're going to have to wait until the trial before you can get all the facts and the evidence. But my thing is, man, they should just leave this family alone. The family had nothing to do with what happened. Just a kid again doing something stupid, doing something that kids do, and unfortunately going to pay the consequences for it. That's just how the world goes. I'm not one who want to sit there and say that. I mean, emotionally, if I'm thinking on emotional, like with all the racist stuff that's being put out by these people, I'll be like, yeah, he needs to get off. He needs to walk scot free just to show them. But no, when you come down and you get, what I'm saying, and all emotions come down, and you got to say, hey, the law is the law, and we got to respect it. And he need to get his trial, get his day in court. The boy not had even been indicted yet. I didn't even know that. I didn't even realize that. That's like I said, I don't know much. I always say we need to know more about the law than what we do because that is something that I knew nothing about. It kind of threw me for a loop. But yeah, like I say, I need to let the law play out, let the process play out, and whatever happens, happens, and go from there. I mean, if he gets some time or get probation or what have you, I mean, that's what he should get. He did do something wrong. I'm not going to say he should walk based on the law. I'm just saying, I'm saying that he should, face the consequences, whatever it may be, unfortunately, and then come out and learn from that and grow up and be a productive member of society. And let that be the reason. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. You know how we do around here. Let's have an intelligent conversation. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those four things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. If you like to support the channel, you can get a super thanks, super chat, super stickers, or you can go to the description box. There are a couple of links there you can click on and help support the channel that way. Now, if you want something tangible for your dollars, which most people do, you can go to marlonmorale.com, which is in the description box. You can go to our Shopify store, or you just hit that shop button and check out all our high quality luxury products. We got silk products, beard products, um, handbags, and fragrances that last all day. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.